Good morning. This is Dylan Jovine with Behind the Markets. Happy Thursday. Today's Thursday, November 13th. Today I want to talk about copper. We haven't really talked about copper in a while. It's been a few months, and you really can't talk about AI, the AI revolution we're going through, without really talking about energy and really without talking about copper. It's unbelievable, and really the build out of data centers is driving a new bull market in the metal. It's really unbelievable. And there's so much more upside. And I'm going to discuss why there's a lot more upside in copper. It's really a big opportunity. So first of all, copper loves AI. These data centers are driving a new bull market in the thing. And think about what's happening. We come from a world, all of us at a certain age, where microchips drove everything, right? These microchips in these computers. We're leaving that era. They are building football stadium sized data centers that connect a bunch of NVIDIA GPUs that are acting as one super chip, as one big giant brain. And how do you get all this data and all this football-sized brain, all these chips together? How do you get it all connected? How do you get them all talking to each other? You do it with copper. Copper is basically better than the alternative for short distance. Copper is the cheapest, least energy expensive way to connect all these things in the data center over short distances. Of course, if we're talking about longer distances, there are other things like optical interconnects that become better ways to transmit data, et cetera. But it is great for short distances. So the AI story is really a copper story. The data center build out story is really a copper story. So there's a lot of opportunity in copper. And one of the big reasons that's going to likely drive a price high. So it's telling us, and oh, by the way, side note, copper has always been a great predictor of economic activity. Generally speaking, you see economic expansion. Copper is a very early signal. On Wall Street, they call it Dr. Copper, because it's an early signal, because it tells you when firms start to do construction, infrastructure build out, et cetera, they need copper for that. So copper has always been a great signal telling you where the demand is for big capital spending and equipment, et cetera, et cetera. On Wall Street, I was taught at a very early age. That's a very important signal. It's a great signal. Having said that, copper is a big deal, and it's at a deficit with all this AI, all the data center build outs, et cetera. There are real predictions that there's going to be a shortfall by 2030, like a 30% shortfall in copper. Basically, there's not enough copper to go around for all the demand, for all the build out, for all this infrastructure that we're doing. So a lot of companies have been scrambling to find where to get more copper. And the good news is that there is a company that has invented basically a way to like fracking for copper, which is just getting started in terms of upside. And we just updated our report on that. We put it on the website for those of you who are interested in learning about it. But look, copper is signaling big upside. Its fate is tied directly to the build out of these data centers. And it is telling us it wants to go higher. Copper's telling us the economy is strong. It's stronger than it looks. It's telling us that the AI trade, the demand for AI is still outrageous. All that capital spending is going in part to copper. And it's telling us basically that there's going to be a deficit. So you have massive demand for copper as we build out these data centers and AI, and not enough supply, which is, of course, going to send prices higher, which is why we're so bullish here on copper. Anyway, that's all I have today. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.